Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about piercing aftercare. Now typically when we think of taking care of our piercings, a lot of times we think about using saline wound wash to clean away that little crust and debris that forms on our piercings, checking our piercings visually to make sure that they're looking clean, trying to keep our hands away from them and not touch them, potentially needing to use specific soaps or be really careful with products in the area, all the stuff that we do for piercing aftercare. But one thing I haven't talked about yet on my channel is a somewhat popular method of piercing aftercare, commonly known as LITHA. LITHA is short for Leave It the Heck Alone, which evolved from the original LITHA, L-I-T-F-A, which you can imagine what that F stands for. We're going to try and keep this video PG-13 for YouTube, so we're not going to say it. But this is a school of thought in piercing aftercare that is basically your body is doing all of the work of healing. Your body's going to do what it needs to do. You don't need to do anything else. You just leave it the heck alone. Don't touch it. Don't mess with it. Let your body do its thing and everything's gonna heal just fine. And for some people, LITHA is probably the best piercing aftercare that you could possibly do. It is truly a wonderful method for a lot of folks because it's correct. Our body is what's doing the work of healing our piercing. Nothing that we put on our piercing is making it heal faster or better or differently. Basically, the bar for piercing aftercare products is what isn't going to irritate my piercings, what isn't going to cause problems. But the aftercare products we use aren't magical healing products, right? If saline had magical healing powers, we'd be putting it on every pop pimple and ripped cuticle that we ever encountered. It doesn't. It's just a very mild isotonic solution that we can use to clean away crust and debris from our piercings that doesn't further irritate the piercing while it's healing the way that peroxide or alcohol or oils or ointments would cause irritation. LITHA basically takes this a step further and says, why even use saline? Why even manually clean your piercing? Just let some warm water run over it in the shower. That'll be enough to get off any crust or debris, and leave it alone besides that, and your piercing will heal just fine. And for a lot of folks, this is the way. This is the way, this is the method. Leave your shit alone, let it heal, everything will be good. Now, the one area where I do have a bit of a disagreement with LITHA and piercers and enthusiasts online who I see pushing it so hard as the only option of aftercare is that not everyone's body heals the exact same way. I think I'm a really good example of this. I have psoriasis, which is an autoimmune based skin condition, and it causes me to get these scaly patches of basically dead, dry, flaky skin all over my body. I primarily get it on my scalp these days. The psoriasis and the rest of my skin is really well controlled. I've got a really good skincare process for it. But I do oftentimes have psoriasis flare-ups when I get a new piercing. And my ears in particular can definitely produce a lot of that dry, flaky skin, especially in the cold weather months, and I tend to produce far more crust and secretion from my healing piercings than the average person or the average client does. So if I were to try doing LITHA as my aftercare, I would end up with my piercing engulfed in just a ball of crust and debris. And I actually had something similar happen. When I was much younger, I was working on an ear project on my right ear with AJ Goldman at 12 Ounce Studios in New Jersey. We love AJ, shout out AJ. And at the time, people were very anti-Q-tip in piercing aftercare. So I was told to just spray some saline on gauze and lightly clean off any debris from my rook and leave it at that. And that was what I tried to do, and also let the warm shower water run over my rook while I was in the shower. And I went in for a 1-month checkup because it was just not feeling great. And AJ basically looked at my ear and was like, have you cleaned this at all since I saw you? And I was like, I've been cleaning every day, I swear. I just cannot get this crust and debris with just gauze and saline or just the shower. And sure enough, he went in there and he tried to clean it out, and nothing short of a Q-tip and a lot of effort was getting that crust and debris out. And I stayed in contact with him and sent him picture updates of my ear over the next week or two, and he was like, yeah, you just need to use a Q-tip, you need to use saline, you need to get in there and manually clean every day, because my body just simply produces so much crust and secretion during the healing process. That is just how my body heals. In fact, it's not even just how my body heals piercings. I was just having a consultation with my surgeon for my upcoming top surgery. Yes, this is a pre-film video. I'm filming this right now in September. We're about 3 weeks out from top surgery. We're very excited. But we were talking about previous surgeries that I've had that required the use of drains. And I have all of my documentation from those surgeries, so I brought it in for my surgical staff to look over and see how it would affect this surgery. And they were stunned at the volume of liquid that I removed via drain from my last surgeries that I had drains on. They were like, this is an exceedingly high amount of liquid that your body is producing during the healing process. My body just seems to heal with an overproduction of secretions from the wound and like weeping and fluids and things like that. And it is directly linked to my psoriasis. I have other clients who have POTS and PCOS, eczema and rosacea, who similarly report a lot more crust and debris around their healing piercings than you might see on the average client. I have some clients who, because of their lifestyle, tend to have a lot more crust and debris on their healing piercings. Clients who work in construction, clients who work outdoors. I have a client who is a miner who's down digging holes in the dirt all day. They tend to get a lot more debris and a lot more built up around their piercings. And if they were to just leave that alone on their piercings, it would cause its own series of irritations and issues and problems during the healing process. So for folks like me and for folks like some of my clients, it's important that we are manually removing that crust and debris, many of us on a daily basis, in order to keep our piercings clean and healthy. Just letting warm water run over them in the shower or spraying them with some saline is not enough for some people to keep their piercings clean and healthy. Even though that's not something that would work for me, LITHA works wonders for many of my clients. For folks who produce much less crust and secretion than I do, going in there and cleaning every day with a Q-tip or spraying saline every day can actually be more irritating and like just jostling around the jewelry and messing with the piercing. So just like letting the warm water run over it in the shower and leaving it alone outside of that is oftentimes plenty for many of my clients, and it keeps them more hands off from their piercing, more hands off from their jewelry, and gives their body a better opportunity to heal things without interruption and without irritation. What's tough when it comes to piercing aftercare is that I think a lot of us want there to be like the one supreme aftercare, the like one best method for healing your piercings that works for everyone, the right answer when it comes to piercing aftercare. And there's just simply no one right answer. Aftercare is going to look different for different people based on their body, the particular piercing they got done, their medical history, their lifestyle, medications they take, the climate and region they live in. There's so many different factors that go into how our bodies heal piercings. So LITHA is an incredible, wonderful method of healing piercings that is super effective for many clients and leads to very successful, happy, healthy, healed piercings. It also absolutely wouldn't work for some other clients and could cause them to deal with irritation and issue on their piercings from a buildup of that natural crust and secretion. Just like I always say, there's no one size fits all in body piercing. Everyone's got a different body, different anatomy, gonna need a slightly different length or gauge or diameter piece of jewelry. There's also no one size fits all in piercing aftercare. And sometimes the aftercare methods that work for one person and are the most effective way for their body to heal are going to not be very effective for someone else to heal and actually cause more problems during the healing process than help. So if you are someone who does not produce a lot of crust and secretion and is able to keep your piercing clean just by rinsing it off in the shower and mostly leaving it alone, congratulations, that's LITHA, and that might be the method that works the best for you for healing your piercing long term. And if it is, I encourage you to use it because it is a great form of piercing aftercare and it is very, very, very effective for many people. If, however, you're like me and you are just a little bit crusty, and that's just how your body heals and that's just how your piercings go, you might need to be more involved with care and cleaning for the healing process for your piercing. And that's completely okay too. It's about doing what's right for you, what's right for your piercings, and what's right for your bodies when we're getting work like this done. I hope this video helps folks have a better understanding of piercing aftercare and just how much of it is learning how your body heals, how your body responds to piercings, and what your body needs as far as aftercare is concerned. Not what someone else needs, not what someone on Reddit says their body needs for aftercare, not what someone on TikTok, even me, tells you is the right thing for piercing aftercare, but figuring out what works for your unique body and for your individual piercings and needs. All right, folks, thanks so much for hanging out, and I can't wait to sit down and chat with y'all again soon. Bye.